delegation from Mexico will be flying over the big meetings, but they won't be on planes, or they won't be thinking about planes, they'll be thinking about trains. Mexico has just canceled a multi-billion-dollar train deal with China. And here to tell us why and what it means for the upcoming APEC meeting is Franc Contreras. He joins us live from Mexico City. Hi, Frank.
Hi there, Phil. Yes, the news came late last night from the Mexican presidency and from his administration here. The decision came directly from the president's office, largely based on political pressure coming from the right-leaning National Action Party, Phil. It turns out that they were questioning the reason behind the fact that there was only really one major company that stood out and put forward a bid when the contract was first announced. And so that was essentially a $3.7 billion contract that was granted to the Chinese consortium that was going to build this. But now the Mexican government says that's not going to happen. A very abrupt decision, basically reversing this and in an effort to try to reopen the bidding, Phil. They say that what they're trying to do here, the Mexican government, is essentially make the bidding process more transparent, trying to deal with the internal politics of this country and the kinds of questions that arose when only one bidding company stepped forward. And so this is the kind of news that the president's going to take when he sits down with his counterpart, the leader of China, Xi Jinping, in Beijing. It's not very good news, but the Mexican president is hoping that this country's participation in APEC will increase. Here's our report looking at how Mexico has dealt with the APEC participation in recent years.
Mexico is Latin America's second largest economy, and it has been a member of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum since 1993. Mexico had just entered the North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA, with Canada and the United States. For a decade, Mexico focused on its trade ties with the United States. According to the U.S. Trade Representative website, in 2012, commerce with Mexico totaled $536 billion. During a recent meeting with Mexico's top economic officials and banking industry executives, President Enrique Peña Nieto briefly discussed APEC's role in Mexico's future.
It has been a strategic free trade alliance among our countries and for democracy and the rule of law that has allowed us to form this Pacific alliance, which we also share with Chile, Peru, and Colombia.
Mexico's most important Asian trading partner is China. The leaders of both nations have already met on at least 3 other occasions in an effort to improve relations. According to one expert, Mexico is looking for ways to increase its exports to China.
China today is demanding, you could say, almost anything, from semiconductors to shrimps, to garments, to whatever you can, of course, oil, raw materials, etc. It is interesting that more than 50% of Mexican exports to China today are mainly oil and copper.
And so this abrupt decision by the Mexican government to recall the contract for the Chinese corporation to build this high-speed rail has a lot of people here and in China scratching their heads and wondering why now, Phil?
All right, stay on this, Frank. This is a good story. I want to get an update from it as soon as we have some. Thank you very much and have a good weekend to you.